in Brajmanda. Not just as Sakhi, Koki, in any form, even an insect I wish to be in Brajmanda. So he is not even prayed for any particular position in Braj. He is prayed for any position in Braj. But still, it's not saying he has achieved his desired end or not. So therefore, as practicing devotees, we are very fortunate. Because we have that opportunity of achieving what we want. But personalities like Rupa Lakshmi were like, Narad is doing this, but he also doing his bhajan. So therefore, us practicing sadhaks or sadhakas, we have to have one way we will unfortunately, but one way we also very fortunate. He has given the entire process, everything. But who has practically imbibed those teachings in his life and practiced all those teachings of Rupa Goswami? Who? Raghunath Das Goswami. He is the topmost Rupa Nuga. And here in this verse, he has described what the services of Rupa Manjari are. So what are they? Tambul Panapada Maradana, Payodana Visara Divir, Naranga Maheshwarim, Priyataya, Yasto Shayanti Priya, Ram Prishta Sahikulada Pikina Sankochita Bhumika, Keli Bhumishi Rupa Manjari Mukastadasika Samshvade. Means, I take shelter of Rupa Manjari and the other dear maid servants of Vrindavaneshwari Srimati Radhika. And how do they serve her? In what way? By offering her metal nut, means tambu, by massaging her lotus feet, offering her water, and by arranging her meeting with Krishna. So because these maid servants, without feeling shy, can enter the area where Radha and Krishna enjoy their most confidential pastimes, they are even more dear to Radhika than Sakhis like Lalita, who are themselves more dear to Srimati Radhika than her life itself. See how dear the Manjaris are to Srimati Radhika. Here Raghunath Das Goswami is saying that Lalita is more dear to Srimati Radhika than her own life. Own life. That's why they are called Pran-Priya Sakhis. Pran-Priya Sakhis means they are more dear to Srimati Radhika than Srimati Radhika's own life. But still, Srimati Radhika, she thinks of the Manjaris as being more dear to her than even Lalita and Nisha. Means more dear to her than even the Ashtasakhis in life itself. So what does Rupa Manjari do? She brings tambul and she brings water that has been very sweetly flavored with milk and herbs. This is called Payodan. Payodan means water which is free, which is very sweetly scented with all these different milk, herbs and all these things. Payo means milk. She also brings a beautiful golden pot where Radha and Krishna they spit the betel nut after chewing it. So that is called Pikdana in Hindi. Pikdana means it's called a spittoon. Means after you chew it, you spit it. So she also serves Radharani at the time of her Abhisara. Means when she goes to meet Krishna. Here Gurudev is saying, do you know the meaning of Abhisara? This is when Srimati Radhika goes to meet Krishna in Sanket Stali, means a place of meeting. When she goes to meet with him on Purnima, the full moon night, she dresses completely in white. And when she goes to meet him during the Amavasya, during the Shukla Paksha, the 15 days of the waxing moon, she dresses in white. And according to how the moon is increasing, she dresses accordingly. Even though her complexion is fair and very golden, at that time she has her manjaris rubbed camphor, mixed with many other ingredients on her body. So what is camphor? What is the color of camphor? Red? Transparent. The Pujari knows the color of camphor. Camphor is white, not red. Yeah. Pujari will don't know what is camphor. So camphor is white. So what do the manjaris do? She Srimati Radhika herself is Gaurani. No, she's golden complexion. But still, according to the position of the moon, if the moon is increasing in size and the moon is diffusing its rays, then what happens? Then the entire place becomes illuminated. No, when the moon rays, what happens? Oh, the entire place has light diffusing everywhere. So then Radharani is easily be caught by her elders. So what do the Manjaris do? They take camphor, karpur, they make a paste of this camphor. No? Make a paste, they take it and they apply it. So, although she is Tapta Kanchana Gaurani, although she has this golden complexion, still what do? They cover this golden complexion with this white camphor. Because Radharani's body, by itself, Radharani's body gives so much illumination. It is said that when the Brajavasis were going from Vrindavan to Kurukshetra to meet Krishna, at that time what happened? It is said when they were traveling on the Bull cart, at that time it was so dark they could not even see because they had to go through the forest. When they were going from Vrindavan to Kurukshetra, they had to go through the dense forest. But still, they could not see anything. But still, because Radharani is so effulgent, the body is so effulgent, it is said that the light coming from her body showed the way to everyone. Not even the jewels on her body, just Radharani herself. Her complexion, her golden complexion itself was giving so much light that all the Brajavasis could see. And they were all going and proceeding forward. So this way, sometimes what happens, she's so effulgent that the others can find out that she's running in the forest. So what will they say? They say, oh, Radharani is so unchaste. Look what she's doing. Middle of the night, where is she going? She's the daughter-in-law of Jatila. Why is she going there? So immediately she'll be caught. So what do the Manjaris do? They take this camphor and they apply it on the body. And this way her golden complexion is concealed. It's hidden. And then only this camphor is seen. And that time what happens? The camphor, the color of the camphor, it mixes with the color of the moon rays. You understand? Understand or not? The color of the camphor mixes with the rays of the moon, and then she cannot be found out easily going through the forest. This is all they serve her now. Because in Braj, Jatila and Kutila, they're always trying to find faults with Srimati Radhika. Always. No. In fact, they would call her so many names also, especially Kutila. Actually, Jatila has a lot of love and affection for Srimati Radhika. Normally, it is seen that Jatila, the mother-in-law of Srimati Radhika, whenever we speak of her, we think of her as being a very cruel old lady. No, we think Jatila is very cruel. But actually she has so much love for Srimati. Once there was one play, they were doing one drama play. At that time, devotees, the lady who was playing Jatila, she was dressed up like in a very bad way. They showed Jatila like a witch, a very cruel lady. She didn't even look nice, she looked very cruel, very merciless. Then after Gurudev saw this drama play, he was not happy. So that Jatila is not like this. He said, why is Jatila always chastising Srimati Radhika? Why? Because she has so much love for her. She's thinking, why should people find faults with my daughter-in-law? She's my daughter-in-law. Why should people find faults with her? Why should people call her unchaste? And all sorts of names. I cannot tolerate. Therefore, she's always chastising Srimati Radhika, saying, oh, why are you going like this in the middle of the night? Come back. This is her love for her. No. So once what happened, they locked Srimati Radhika inside the room. They won't let her go outside. So that time Krishna wanted to meet Srimati Radhika so much, but Jatila and Kutila, they said, they told Radharani, no, you're not going anywhere. Normally Radharani, she'd go to Nandagaon to cook every day with her Sakhis. But today, Jatila and Kutila, they said, today you're not even leaving our house. No, don't go to Nandagaon anymore. Stay here in Jammu. And she said, at least let me go get some water from the Yamuna. They said, no. There's no need to get water from the Yamuna also. Just stay here. So that time Krishna, he became very sad. And he was thinking what to do. So Purnamasi Yogamaya, she is very helpful. She always arranges for the meeting between Radha and Krishna. So that time what happened? Krishna, he became very sick. He became very, very sick. So then Yashoda, she became very sad. My son has become sick, what to do? They all went to Purnamasi Yogamaya. Because Purnamasi Yogamaya, she's very wise. She's like the guru of all the Brajavasis. So when they went to her, they asked Purnamasi Yogamaya what to do. And Purnamasi Yogamaya said, Krishna can be cured of his headache only if you do one thing. What is that? you must call the most chaste lady of Braj. If you call the most chaste lady of Braj, who hasn't even seen a man's face, and if you give her this pot that I have, this pot has 1,000 holes, this pot. If you give her this pot, and if she drinks water from the Yamuna, by making sure that not even one drop of water spills out of the pot. And then, if you take some water from that pot, you put it on Krishna's head, take a cloth, soak it in that water, and rub it on his head, then he'll be pure. And I was thinking, how is this possible? This pot has so many holes. How can we possibly drink water from the Yamuna with this pot which has 1,000 holes? I'm thinking, who is this chaste lady? So then Kutila, the daughter of Jatila, she was very proud. She said, I am the most chaste lady in Braj. No one is more chaste than me. Even Lakshmi is not as chaste as me. Even Anusuya, for whom Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh became, when they Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh came before Anusuya, they wanted to test the chastity of Anusuya. Anusuya said, they told Anusuya, if you want to give us Bhiksha, you must become naked. And Anusuya said, then alright, become my children. And 3 of them became my children. She is considered to be very chaste. Arundhati is considered to be very chaste. But Kutila said, none of them are as chaste as me. Then they said, alright, give this pot to Kutila. So Kutila, what happened? She took some water from the Yamuna in front of everyone. Kutila, she was showing off very nicely, very dramatically. She was taking water, giving it like this. As soon as she kept it on her head, what happened? Abhishek. She was Abhishek of Kutila. And everyone was laughing at her. Kutila became very shy, very ashamed. Very ashamed. Then immediately she covered her face, the cloth, and then she ran away. She didn't even show her face to anyone. She didn't go even to the main road. She ran from behind. From behind where no one could see her, she ran away. So then everyone was thinking what to do, what to do. Then Yogamaya said, actually the most chaste lady in Braj is Srimati Radhika. He called her name. And Jatila said, Jatila became very angry. Again, who's calling my daughter? And someone said, Yogamaya. Then she became scared. Jatila is scared of Yogamaya. Because Yogamaya had previously told Jatila that if you don't send Srimati Radhika to Nandagaon, then all your cows will die. Abhimanyu will also die. Your son will also die. And so many bad things will happen to you in your life. So therefore she was sending Srimati Radhika. Why? Because she's so scared of Yogamaya, Purnamas. So immediately when she heard Purnamas Yogamaya wants that my daughter should go, then she said, alright, you can go. And Srimati Radhika said, no, I will not go. Why should I go? It's because of that Krishna that I am suffering so much. That black boy, because of him I am suffering so much. I will not go, she said. And anyhow, Jatila, she fell at the feet of Srimati Radhika. She said, oh my God, please. This one time you go, that's all. Once Yogamaya become angry, when she becomes angry, then her cows will die. My son Abhimanyu also might die. So please go. Then Srimati Radhika, anyhow, she went there. What did she do? She took that pot of water, she kept it on her head, and then not one single drop of water came out. Everything was contained within that pot. And as soon as the pot of water came to Krishna, then Krishna, some water was taken and put on Krishna's head, sprinkled on Krishna's head, immediately he became healthy. So this is how chaste Srimati Radhika is. Krishna himself showed to everyone. Why? What is the meaning of chastity? Here in this material world, you see, chastity is the ornament of a woman. A woman who is very chaste, she is very respected in society. No. Woman is very chaste. Because chastity, without chastity, what is the value to a woman? A woman has no value without chastity. In fact, before, when the Mughals, when the Muslims invaded India, that time they would take all the women away. But there were so many women who said rather than being taken away by the Mughals, we'll jump into the fire. They were called the Rajputanis. They were the women from the warrior class. What would they do? As soon as they heard the Mughal invaders were coming, they would light a big fire. Big fire. You cannot even imagine. Like they throw all the wood they could find. They would light a big fire. And then one after another, every woman would jump into that fire. One after another, just jump inside the fire. Why? They said rather than being touched by these people, by these invaders, we give up our lives. And they all start jumping inside the fire, giving up their lives. Why? Because chastity is so important for a woman. But still, we see so many chaste women. If they don't have any devotion to Krishna, if they do not accept Krishna as their beloved, then what value does that chastity have? Because chastity only is until this life. No, a woman is considered to be chaste to her husband as long as her husband is alive. But then after the husband passes away, then immediately he's born somewhere else. He's married to someone else, or he becomes a wife himself. But the wife passes away first, then how can she possibly serve her husband who she has been married to? Therefore here, chastity in this material world is very restricted, very confined. But that same chastity is applied to Krishna, and that chastity is most glorious. Therefore the gopis, although they were married to other men, still, because their love and affection was one pointed solely and wholly for Krishna, therefore they considered to be the crest jewel of all chaste women. In fact, Lakshmi Devi herself, she prays for the foot dust of the gopis. Lakshmi, Arundhati, Anusuya, Tara, Draupadi, all these women were so much celebrated for chastity, they follow the feet of the gopis, desiring their foot dust. So therefore the Manjaris, what do? They apply camphor on Srimati Radhika's body and they set her. In this way, when she's walking through the moon rays, she cannot even be seen easily. In that way, if anyone looks in her direction, they only think they're seeing only the moon rays. That's all. This is her disguise. Also at that time, the Manjaris bind their ankle bells so that they will not make any tinkling sound. So Radharani has ankle bells, no? Like Shyamananda Prabhu, when he was cleaning the kunjas in Vrindavan, what did he find? He found one of Srimati Radhika's ankle bells. And the Jiva Goswami told him, give that ankle bell only to the owner. Don't give it to anyone else. Even when Lalita Prashad came, he refused to give it to them. And only when Radharani came, then he put the ankle bell around her feet. Then he was blessed. It is said that even Narada Rishi, where did he learn how to play the veena? How did he learn how to do kirtan? Narada Rishi is who taught him how to do kirtan? And by that, he learned how to do kirtan. They are so scared that even these ankle bells, when they tinkle, means when they make a sound, and Radharani can be caught. So immediately, they take those ankle bells out to make sure that no noise should be heard. And she must not be seen. Therefore, even so much camphor on her body, still, to be doubly sure, they dress her in a white sari. And even her veil means her anchal. So that is also white. And then, on the dark moon night, on Amavasya, what do the Manjaris do? The Manjaris, they tell Srimati Radhika, oh Srimati Radhika, the night is dark, so you must train how to go there. Before, the night was bright. Now, during Purnima, the rays of the moon are there, so the path in the forest is very clearly seen. No, if any stones, pebbles or anything like that, Srimati Radhika can avoid them. But during the dark moon night, during Amavasya, nothing can be seen in the forest. No, it's very dark. What to do? And also, Radharani she's completely covered in top, so also she cannot see by her own effulgence. So then Srimati Radhika practices at midnight. At that time, she has her sakhis take pots full of water and pour them in her courtyard in order to make it muddy and very slippery. So what the Manjaris do, they make Srimati Radhika practice. So they take pots full of water and they pour it on the ground. And so they make the place very slippery and very muddy. Then they place thorns here and there on the muddy ground. They take some thorns, they place it on that muddy place. They create a setting as if Srimati Radhika is walking on a forest on a stormy night, with rain falling very heavily, making the earth extremely slippery, with many snakes and thorns as well. So the Manjaris tell Srimati Radhika that, oh Swami, if you walk through the forest, it's very dark, you cannot see anything, also it's raining so much, also it's very slippery, so many thorns will be there, so practice from now you practice. So then they make the place very slippery, they put some thorns in there, and then they say they're watching Srimati Radhika, how she goes. In this situation, on such a night, how can she go to Krishna? So she practices during the night by moving very quietly and cautiously. So then Gurudev is showing, means tiptoeing. Tiptoeing means what? You walk on your toes, not even on your feet, on your heels. You walk on your toes. So Lalita Devi, she trains Srimati Radhika in this way. And Rup Manjari watches. And our Guru in this world, and Sakhi Manjari in that world, he also watches. So So here Gurudev is saying that our Guru Rupa Sakhi, by being present in this world, he is also seen directly in the spiritual world. No, because that is the position of our Guru Varga. Even while they are present in this world, they are simultaneously present at the same time in the spiritual world also. So many things, so many examples can be given. When Srila Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj, he was sitting in his room. When he was sitting in his room, some devotees, they inquired from him, saying, Maharaj, this and this, this and that. So then Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj, he told those devotees, do you see me sitting? So then the devotee said, yes Maharaj, we see you sitting in front of us. Sridhar Maharaj said, do you really see me sitting in front of you? He said, yes Maharaj, we see you sitting in front of us. Where am I sitting? You're sitting in front of us. And then Sridhar Maharaj, he smiled. And he said, no, I'm sitting outside Rup Manjari's Kunja. Sridhar Maharaj, closing his eyes. Whenever Srila Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj would speak, he closed his eyes. He'd say, oh, I'm sitting outside Rup Manjari's Kunja. What do you think I'm sitting here? Even once Gurudev, he was closing his eyes and he was sitting on a chair. So then, one devotee thought Gurudev was resting. One devotee. Who was this devotee? It was a Shauti Maharaj. The Shauti Maharaj, he went to Gurudev and then he woke Gurudev up. He said, oh Gurudev, I have a question. Gurudev opened his eyes, became very angry. He said, oh, you have a question? You know where I was? I was in the Abhishek ceremony of Srimati Radhika. Abhishek was being performed to Srimati Radhika. I was there, present there, and then you disturbed me here. You made me lose that spurti, that vision. What is your question? Shauti Maharaj is shaking so much. Then he ran away from there. He didn't want to be there also. No? So this way, our Guru Varga, while they are present in this world, simultaneously present there in spiritual world also, doing their services. No? Therefore, Gurudev would always say, some devotees would tell Gurudev that, oh, why did Prabhupada leave us? Why did Swami Prabhupada leave us? He could have been in this world for so many more years. But Gurudev said, oh, Krishna could not tolerate his separation. Although in one form he is also in this material world, still Krishna wanted him to be there fully. Therefore he called him back. So who knows what Krishna's will is? This is a Guru Varga, they're like this. Always in the spiritual world also the same. So many examples we now know. Like even when Srinivas Acharya also went into Samadhi, 3 days he didn't open his eyes. He was just sitting in one place. So then everyone thought, what happened to Srinivas Acharya? Then Ramchandra Kaviraj, his disciple, told the others, alright, I will sit next to my Guru Maharaj, nobody touch us, nobody disturb us. So then he also entered into Samadhi for so many days. And then what happened? Srinivas Acharya in his Manjari form, he was looking for something in Radhakund. What happened? Then Radharani's nose ring had fallen inside Radhakund somewhere. So Srinivas Acharya was looking everywhere. And then he saw Ramchandra Kaviraj also come there in his Manjari form. Then Ramchandra Kaviraj was also helping him look for that nose ring of Srimati Radhika. They were looking everywhere and everywhere. And then finally Ramchandra Kaviraj, he found that nose ring of Srimati Radhika on a lotus stem. Means the lotus grows on, when it grows on the water, there's a stem beneath. No, so then anyhow he put the water aside, there is Srimati Radhika's nose ring, it was on the stem, lotus stem. Immediately he took that nose ring and he gave it to his Guru Maharaj, Srinivas Acharya, in his Manjari form. And then Srinivas Acharya in his Manjari form, he gave that nose ring to who? Who is Srinivas Acharya's Guru? Who is his Guru? You don't know. He's so much Harikatha listening, you don't know who is the Guru of Srinivas Acharya. Who is the Guru of Srinivas Acharya? After listening to the entire Ramayana, one person asked, who is Ram, who is Sita? Who is the Guru of Srinivas Acharya?
Gopal Bhatta.
Gopal Bhatta Goswami is the Guru of Srinivas Acharya. Recently we observed his disappearance there. So Srinivas Acharya's Guru is Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So then Ramchandra Kaviraj, he gave that ring to who? Srinivas Acharya. Srinivas Acharya gave that nose ring to Guna Manjari, Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And who did Gopal Bhatta Goswami give that ring to? Rup Manjari. And Rup Manjari gave that ring to who? Who is the Guru of Gopal Bhatta Goswami? Who? Who is the Guru of Gopal Bhatta Goswami? Whom did he take Diksha from? No, I don't know.
Prabodhananda
Prabodhananda Saraswati. And who is Prabodhananda Saraswati in Krishna is Tunga Saki. So Rupanjari gave that ring to Tunga Saki. Then Tunga Saki gave that ring to Vishaka. Vishaka gave that nose ring to Lalita. Then Lalita, she put that nose ring on Srimati Radhika. This is all the Parampara story. Then this way the Guru Varga, they are present in this world at the same time, but still they are indirectly present in the world. So many examples, like even in Surya Kund also, which is the bhajan story of Madhusudan Das Babaji, who was the Guru of Jagannath Das Babaji. So Madhusudan Das Babaji, he would do bhajan in Surya Kund. When he was doing bhajan there, it said he would become so absorbed in Radha and Krishna's Leela that when Radha and Krishna were throwing colors at each other, some of the colors would also manifest on him. That's why he became known as Snigdha Baba. Some of these colors that Radha and Krishna were throwing, they also started appearing on his physical form. And they were so fragrant. And they were thinking, oh, how did these colors appear on him? Immediately everyone started glorifying him. Oh, you're Siddha Baba, Siddha Baba. They became very shy. Because Vaishnava doesn't like Pratishtha, it doesn't like prestige. Immediately believes. And anyhow, the villagers, they requested him, please stay here and do bhajan. So this way. So this is Gurudev is saying that our Guru also in this world is present and watching. So the Manjaris know everything regarding the appropriate times to go and the way in which to go. And they very cleverly make all arrangements. This is Avisa, means they arrange for the meeting between Radha and Krishna. So the night is dark and it is raining. Shri Krishna is waiting at Sanket. Sanket means it's a place of meeting, Radha and Krishna meet. So the Manjaris go there first in order to find Krishna. And they tell him Srimati Radhika will not come to see him that night. The Manjaris tell Krishna, today our Swamini will not come. Why? Because raining so much, how can she come to see you? But actually Radharani has already come and she is hiding somewhere. So when the Manjaris are speaking with Krishna, Radharani is hiding somewhere and she is looking from a distance, watching to see Krishna's reaction. So then Krishna becomes very disappointed. At the time the Manjaris, they tell him she will not come today. So then Krishna, he faints. He's almost fainting and falling on the ground. At that time, he tells, how can I meet Srimati Radhika? So then if the Manjaris see that Krishna is sincerely hankering to meet with Srimati Radhika, they at once go and tell her. And then she comes to meet Krishna. Until then, she will not come. See how Gurudev is explaining. Srimati Radhika will not meet Krishna if he is not anxious to meet her. So first she will say, first the Manjaris will lie to Krishna, saying Radharani has not come. And Krishna becomes almost fainting and falling to the ground. And immediately they tell Radharani, Krishna is very anxious to meet her. Please go. Immediately she goes to meet Krishna. This is prema. This is pure love. This is the prema that we aspire for. No. Not any other form of love. No. We must be very careful to not have any mundane conception about this prema. This prema is completely transcendental, completely selfless. Here you see, Radha is not going to meet Krishna for her own enjoyment. And Krishna is not going to meet Srimati Radhika for his own enjoyment. Rather, Radharani is going to meet Krishna for his pleasure. And Krishna is going to meet Srimati Radhika for Radhika's happiness. Radharani thinks, if I go there, Krishna will become happy. And Krishna thinks, if I go there, Radharani will become happy. And this way they are only desiring each other's happiness. Not like the love in this world. In this world, everyone loves each other for their own selfish purpose. No. Not purely, but the spiritual, completely the opposite. They only want to please each other. But sometimes, when it is time for Abhisar, the Manjaris, father-in-laws or mother-in-laws, or all the sisters-in-law are present in their homes. At that time, they must be so clever that they can find a way to cheat their in-laws, telling them lies, so that they can cleverly go and devise a way for Radha and Krishna to meet. This is called Abhisar. Also the Manjaris, they are also married. Therefore it is said sisters-in-law, brothers-in-law, so many relatives they have in their house. So very cleverly they also cheat their relatives in a very clever way. And then they arrange for Radha and Krishna to meet each other. So here Tamal Krishna Maharaj is asking Gurudev, what is the exact meaning of the word Abhisar? So Gurudev is saying you should know the meaning of Abhisarika. It is a Sanskrit word referring to the Naika. It means the heroine who leaves her home and travels to meet her lover at the assigned Kunja. So there are 8 kinds of gopis. So here, the 8 kinds of gopis means Radharani, according to the different times of the day, she assumes these different moods. So here, Guru is going to speak from Ujjal Leelamani. What are the 8 kinds of gopis? First is Abhisarika. Abhisarika refers to the gopi who is going to meet Krishna. Now, like when Krishna is present at Vamsivat, Radharani, she is going to meet Krishna at Vamsivat. At the time, what is she called? She is called Abhisarika. And Radharani is going to meet Krishna, either at Radhapur, Vamsivat, or any other place in Braj, Sakya, Prince, or anywhere. At that time, she is called Abhisarika. And then the second type of gopi means the second kind of mood. It's called Vasak Sajja. What is Vasak Sajja? It refers to the gopi who makes the kunja very beautiful with various types of decorations. And she also makes the kunja very nice. Why? Because Krishna is going to come now. She's thinking Krishna is going to come just now, just now, just now. And as she makes the bed, she continuously listens for any noise. If she hears some leaves rustling, means if she hears someone stepping on leaves, dry leaves, immediately she thinks, oh, Krishna has come, Krishna has come. This is called Vasak Sajja. And then the third kind of mood that Srimati Radhika might have is called Utkantita. So what is Utkantita? It refers to that gopi who is repeatedly looking in the direction in which Krishna is coming. So Radharani is always looking in the direction. Where is Krishna? Is he coming or not? She's also listening. Oh, is someone stepping on leaves? Where is he? She's always looking. Utkantita means, Utkanta means what? Utkanta means your life hair comes up to your throat. Kanta means throat. So now your life hair is here. It means you're so anxious. Radharani is so anxious to meet Krishna. She's always looking in that direction. See, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? When will he come? Is he coming now? Then when he's late, she is called Khandita. Khandita means when Krishna arrives late and his body has signs of having been with another lover. Then Srimati Radhika becomes extremely jealous and she sometimes chastises him. So what is this jealousy? This jealousy is actually not mundane. Jealousy here means Radharani is so sad in her heart. She thinks Krishna is with another gopi, but does he not realize that the other gopi cannot give him the same amount of happiness that I can give? Does he not know this? I know he was present with another gopi, but still I know he was not happy with her. Only in my association can he be happy. So that time when Krishna appears in front of Srimati Radhika, he has so many signs on his body. Krishna has a bluish body now, bluish black body. So that time some parts of his body they're red, they're reddish. Means some marks are present on his body. That time Radharani sees this and she becomes very angry. Then she calls Krishna, oh, you're Neel Lohit Rudra. Neel Lohit Rudra means you're like this, you're like Lord Shiva, who has so many, who's like bluish in color, but he also bears certain signs on his body. Why? Because having drunk poison, Lord Shiva has certain parts of his body that become reddish. Because when the ocean was churned, Lord Shiva drank this poison. So some parts of his body have become red. Similarly, Radharani starts saying Krishna, that, oh, you're like Lord Shiva. Why have you not come earlier? There must be some reason. That time she's thinking, maybe he's gone to another gopi. Maybe he's in danger. There's so many demons in Vrindavan. Perhaps he had to fight with some demon. Something else could have happened. And then when finally Krishna comes, he comes when it's almost morning. So Krishna is supposed to meet Srimati Radhika in the night. But when he comes, it's almost morning. Means that time is already finished. So then when she sees these signs of Krishna's body, indicating that he has come after having met another gopi, she becomes furious. She then quarrels with Krishna. So this is called Kandita. And then the next kind of gopi is called Kalahan Tarita. Means the next kind of mood. So when due to quarreling with Krishna, Srimati Radhika sends Krishna away, then she becomes even more anguished. She thinks, oh, why did I send him away? Krishna is so sweet. Why did I send him away? Then she becomes very depressed. So this is called Kalahan Tarita. And then the next kind of mood is called Swadhin Gatrika. So when Krishna apologizes, and he falls at the feet of Srimati Radhika, and he tells her, Srimati Radhika, please give up your anger. Please give it up. Please forgive me. Then she tells Krishna, alright, you put these ankle bells around my feet. You decorate my hair. You braid my hair and decorate it. Then Krishna, he follows Srimati Radhika's order. He puts ankle bells around the feet, decorates the hair. So then what happens? Krishna is completely under Srimati Radhika's control. So this is called Swadhin Pratrika. And then the next kind of mood Srimati Radhika has is called Vipralapta. So this is when Krishna goes away somewhere else and doesn't show up all of some place. So then Srimati Radhika is feeling so much separation. Vipralapta. So it's called Vipralapta. And then the next kind of mood is called Proshri Patrika. This is when Krishna goes away to another place, very distant place. And then the separation that Srimati Radhika is feeling from Krishna. This is called Proshri Patrika. So these are the 8 kinds of moods that Srimati Radhika experiences in her meeting with Krishna, according to the different times of the day, according to the different pastimes. So in every situation, the Manjaris have some duty. Sometimes they even chastise Krishna. Sometimes they console Srimati Radhika. All the qualities required for service at these times reside in the Manjaris. See? All these different services that they have to do. Like Prabhupada also, no? Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he gave an instruction. What did he say? He said our main duty is to pacify Srimati Radhika when she has gone to Kurukshetra. No, when Srimati Radhika is in Kurukshetra, feeling so much separation from Krishna, our main duty is to serve Srimati Radhika at that time. So all the qualities required for service are present in the Manjaris. They prepare, they give sympathy, they decorate, they make innumerable arrangements. Therefore, in the Guru Ashtakam it is said, Nikunjayuno Ratikeli Siddhari Yaya Libi Yutti Apekshamina Tatrati Daksha Rativallabhasya Vandesh Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Guru is always present with the Sakhis. He's making all arrangements for their amorous pastimes within the Kunjas of Braj. And because he's so expert, he's very dear to Srimati Radhika. Krishna Thakur is spared in this way. So many arrangements are required to serve Radha and Krishna when they meet in the Kunja and engage in their Leela Vilas. The Sakhis and Manjaris must cheat others. They meet with Krishna, rebuke him, and so many things. And Sri Rup Manjari is highly experienced to do all these services. We should always remember what she does, and we should adopt her mood. However, until we receive our constitutional mood or Sthaiva, which manifests after Radhini Shakti enters our heart, we can only pray for these services, as Raghunath Das Goswami has prayed. So Gurudev is saying here that although so many services of the Manjaris are being described, how can we realize them in our heart? So he's saying until we have Bhav Bhakti in our lives, until this ray of praying, until this ray of Radhini Shakti descends in our hearts, until then we can only pray for these bhavs. We should not imitate, but we can pray for them. See how merciful Gurudev is saying. He's saying we can pray for these moods, even if we don't have them within our hearts. Even if we haven't realized it, we can pray for them. We cannot perform these services in our present stage. And the Guru warns his neophyte disciples, don't try. We can only pray, when will my good fortune come, so that I will be able to render services like Rup Manjari, Anand Manjari, in our Gurus, in the Parampara. So we can pray like this. When can I serve? Means, in his sadhak group, as a sadhaka, the devotee has greed to obtain the mood of the Manjaris, to obtain the moods of Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, his own Gurudev. And in Siddha root, he follows Rup Manjari, Rati Manjari, Lavanga Manjari, how they serve Radha and Krishna. So in this way, he follows in the footsteps of a particular servant of Radha and Krishna at Vrindavan. Praja Lokano Sadhana. So those who have genuine greed, they do just as the Brajavasis have done. So here the word Brajavasis refers to Rup Manjari and the other Manjaris. So Krishna performs 2 kinds of pastimes, Aishwarya Leela and Madhurya Leela. What is Aishwarya Leela? What is Aishwarya Leela? Last year of opulence. And Madhurya Leela? Like full of sweetness, like crunch. So when he's in his Aishwarya Leela, he's like Narayan. But even when Krishna has all these different forms of Godhead, like beauty, strength, and all these qualities of Narayan, still, when he's in Vrindavan, all these qualities of God are covered by sweetness. When he killed Putana, he was only a few days old. Putana tried to fly away, but then Krishna would say, no, I will take your milk and also your life. I will never leave you. She had the power of 10,000 elephants, yet she could not break away from Krishna. But still Krishna caught hold of her breast and took her life away. So this is Aishwarya, but at the same time, there is also Madhurya. He's always present as a baby there, when he was sucking Putana's breast. So in this way, all the residents of Braj, they have this Laukik Sambandhavat Leela. Means they think of Krishna as their beloved son, their beloved lover, their beloved friend. Even though Putana was killed by Krishna's Aishwarya Shakti, still there is like Nagaleela. Why? Because he was a small baby when he came to Aishwarya is present side by side with Madhurya. How is that? In fact, it is said that the Aishwarya of Vrindavan, the opulence of Vrindavan is much greater than the combined opulence of all the Vaikuntha planets. All the Vaikuntha planets cannot compare to even one dust particle of Braj in respect to their opulence. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said that if there is only Naralila and no Aishwarya and Krishna, he will simply be an ordinary child, performing human-like activities. So if there is no Aishwarya, then Krishna is just like an ordinary human boy, like a lusty boy, stealing from others, doing so many things. So without the quality of Aishwarya, he cannot be God. And he would not be worshipped as the worshipable deity of all the various rasas. He would not be the gopi's object of worship. So therefore, it is very important to realize that although Krishna has his sweet pastimes in Braj, he is also the supreme personality of Godhead at the same time. So we continue tomorrow now. Here Gurudev is going to explain more. He's going to say that we see that Nanda, Yashoda and all the gopis and gopas, they all accept Krishna as Nanda and Yashoda's son. But also, when they see Krishna performing all these different leelas, like lifting Giriraj, at that time they think, oh, Krishna has not lifted Giriraj. Rather, Narayan has entered into Krishna and Narayan is lifting Giriraj. Even Nanda will never believe that Krishna is God. When Nanda and when Garga Rishi and the other Brajavasis told Nanda that your son might be Narayan, he said, oh, even though he may be Narayan, still he is my son. Even though he may be like Narayan, I will chastise him. I will call him whatever I wish. So we'll discuss this tomorrow. So therefore, praying at the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, we pray that these moods can enter our hearts. And also that this construction work finishes quickly, that all of us can listen to Prabhuji speak later on. But he's saying until this construction work finishes, we will speak. So therefore, praying to Yogamaya, this construction work will finish overnight, in one night. Tomorrow there will be a big floor that we can then pray. The Prabhuji will come and start speaking as quickly as possible. Anchar Vatarupusha, Vanasindrapumcha, Paranam, Avarikyo, Vaishnavikyo, Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada.
Подожди, у меня сейчас много всего, я сейчас не могу.